It's the moment you've been waiting for. The Gallstones are back.
Fuck yeah. Jam. I don't know if y'all know this, but this is the show of the summer. Give it up for our crew back here doing visuals, doing sound. And one of y'all beautiful people have passed me a water that I believe may be back there. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Give it up for all the bands. Yeah, give it up for Catacomb, real Gallstones energy in that set. Alright, fuck yeah. This one's called 9 to 11.
Alright, shut up. This is the Weak Knees last show, alright? Weak Knees has been the closest thing to a sister band to the Gallstones as we've ever had.
Gallstones.
And, this is probably our last time playing with Weak Knees ever. But I want to tell a story about the first time we ever played with Weak Knees. All right. So, this is, the height of the Gallstones, I guess you could call it. 2022, summer of 2023, years, one of those years. And I was on my hustle and my grind for the Gallstones more than I ever will be, and I was trying to get as many shows as possible for our band for pretty much no reason other than, playing shows. Yeah. And there was this one venue called Two Boots Pizza. We played one in Smyrna, that was our third show ever, but I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about our other show at Two Boots Pizza in the Nashville location. So, long story short, I was going to every single show at this venue for the whole summer trying to get a show there because there was like these people that had a monopoly on the venue. And I like the only way to contact them was to go to all their shows and bug them like, yo, I'm trying to have this show. And every time they'd be like, oh, yo, I just remembered, like oh, we're gonna get you a show here. And there's a whole summer of that. But I'm grinding so hard to get a show at this Two Roots Pizza place. But we literally got the last slot that year. We got the last show that year. And it's a three band kind of deal, right? So we need some bands. Like after this grinding, like months and months of grinding, like oh shit, like some bands for this show. So and we don't know who to get. So we get Coffinless. And they're awesome. They were awesome. But then we needed a third band, and it's like Will had just recorded Weak Knees doing a title fight cover, and we
social credit deducted.
And so, okay, let's get Weak Knees. And so this is also like the height of the Gallstones era. We were Is this on? Okay. We were doing every show that we got, we would do this thing where we'd go in the DM and be like, yo, can we play third? Can we go second? This was the same thing. There's a 3-band bill, so we're like, okay, let's go second. And then the other bands were like, okay, yeah, sure. And so this is the height of the Gallstones. So people were coming out to see us. And we were like on the way to the show, and we were like, you know, like everyone's gonna leave after our set, and no one's gonna see Weak Knees. That's gonna be hella funny, and it happened. What I'm trying to get at with this is, if I see any of you leave before Weak Knees plays after our set, like you're banned from every Gallstone show ever.
Gallstones.
We love Weak Knees. We support Weak Knees. Fuck Weak Knees.
Also, when we played with Weak Knees, my amp exploded. I'm pretty sure my cab just exploded. So, you know, we're bringing it back around.